Next tonight, thousands of people have signed a petition to try to prevent a cull of wild goats in part of southern Scotland.
Campaigners say they are an important feature of the hills and moors around Langham and Newcastleton. The landowners point out, though, that the numbers need to be controlled to reduce the goats' impact on the environment.
Well, our Borders reporter Isla Todd joins us from near Newcastleton. And Isla, for anybody who's not familiar with this story, give us a quick recap.
This all started back in 2023 when the organisation managing the land, Oxygen Conservation, did a survey and found there was a population of around 20 of these wild goats. And they say that in just 2 years that has grown to 138, and they suggested a cull. Locals were not happy about that suggestion, though. They say the goats are part of the community and that the lack of consultation was particularly upsetting. However, because it is private land, Oxygen Conservation are not required to carry out a consultation. In February, when the cull was announced, there was an outcry, petitions were set up, and today one with nearly 4,000 signatures was handed to the local MP, John Lamont.
The reality is these goats have been here for hundreds of years. They're part of the natural environment, the natural history of this area, and it's absolutely right that people should be concerned about this cull. And what I now need to do is persuade the Scottish Government that they need to do something to protect wild goats, not just here but more generally around Scotland, to ensure that this doesn't happen again.
We've contacted Oxygen Conservation on a number of occasions, and today they said they're looking at fencing as a way of managing the wild goats. In a statement, they said fencing is a key part of the estate's herbivore management strategy aimed at controlling deer and goat movement while minimising the impact on other wildlife. Permission is being sought from Nature Scots and Scottish Forestry for strategically placed temporary fences, which the public will be able to comment on a few further steps down the line. With me today, though, is Gail Brown. You set up that petition that has been handed to John Lamont. This is exactly what you were wanting when you first set it up.
Yes, it is. We're absolutely delighted that the petition went to John Lamont today, and he has promised to take it forward to Parliament. There's been a lot of hard work gone into it, both sides of the fell, Langham and Newcastleton. And we couldn't be happier that it's actually been accepted and hopefully taken forward into Parliament.
And just quickly, Oxygen Conservation say that they are legally required to manage this population. You must have some understanding of that.
Yeah, we get that you have to manage herbivores, and we're not suggesting you can't cull anything, but the figures just don't add up. They said there were 20 in October 23, and now there are 138 in January of this year, which is a 700% increase in 15 months. Those figures just don't stack up, and when I contacted Oxygen Conservation and said that I disagree with the figures, I've never had a reply from them. As I say, we don't dispute that there has to be a cull, but to cull 85%, especially at this time of year when there are lots of nursing nannies and kid goats around, we absolutely do not agree with that.
Gail, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We have contacted the Scottish Government before, and they said previously there is no plan to introduce a protected status. But given the attention it's getting and the pressure from local politicians, could a change be yielded for the future of these goats? It's too soon to say.
Isla, near Newcastleton, thank you.